back next Wednesday for the next topic, because this is an ongoing series. So looking forward to sharing information with you. Thanks for having me tonight.
Cool. Thanks, Liz. Britt, do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I am Brittany Pio. It's nice to be with everybody tonight. I'm a wellness advocate with doTERRA. I'm also a licensed massage therapist, and I also teach massage therapy. So I'm excited to bring you some ways that you can apply your oils topically, some of the effective things that I've seen in my personal life, but also what's worked with my clients, and things that can just make your life a lot easier and less stressful when it comes to applying your oils.
Cool. Thank you, Britt. And last but certainly not least for our talking, oh wait, we have two more. I'm sorry. Okay, Sarah King, do you mind introducing yourself? I jumped ahead. Go ahead, Sarah.
Hi, my name is Sarah King. I am a licensed clinical social worker and doTERRA wellness advocate and educator I've been working with doTERRA for 3 years. I am really excited because tonight we're going to do a little bit of refreshing some of the things that you learned in 101 to kind of bring it back to the forefront with those oils in your hands so that you can really start to get some ideas about some practical application in your life. So thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Cool. And last but not least for tonight's education, we have Carrie. Carrie, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Carrie Ruff, everyone. Nice to be with you. I have been with doTERRA. I've been a wellness advocate for over 4 years, and I am a Reiki master teacher. Ever since I've started this business, my education has grown and my interest into other healing modalities and partnering them with doTERRA has been it's just been really, really intriguing to me. And I'm really excited for the tribe that we have on tonight to be able to discuss all of this with you guys. And like Liz said, I know you guys won't be disappointed. So thank you for joining us, and I'll chat with you all again in a bit.
Cool, thank you. All right, so we're going to kick off tonight with Sarah King. So I will put her on the main screen. And then I can share for those of you that are visual learners as well. So we'll have it on the screen. And go ahead, Sarah.
Okay, so from the document in front of you, you can see that our topic tonight is I've got my oils and now what? So we're going to talk a little bit about what you can see at the top is a review of the ways to use essential oils. So we're going to talk about the why, we're going to talk about the how, and we're going to talk about the use. And then some of the oils that came either in your enrollment kits or that you may have collected as you've been moving along in your oil journey, and talk a little bit about the specifics of what they can do to target particular areas of your life. So I am going to lead us off by talking about the aromatic use for essential oils. So one of the most common ways that we know to use essential oils is diffusing them. Using a diffuser, this states, is an effective way to distribute molecules of the essential oils into the air to affect mood, promote desired atmosphere, purify the air, and dispel unwanted odors. So one of the ways that I think about essential oils when I think about using them aromatically and the impact that they can have is I think about my very favorite thing that I've ever eaten, or walking into the smell of like fresh baked bread or fresh cut grass. That brain response that you have to the essential oils is really what the diffuser can do for you. So what each of these oils can do is help to clean and clear your air in your environment, help boost your mood, help regulate your emotions. And there's some different ways that you can utilize essential oils aromatically. So obviously we've talked about diffusing. The other option is what I love, and I'm going to pull out my oil, is a drop of oil or two, depending on what your preference is, into the palm of your hand. and you can rub your hands together. Now, one of the things I like about this option is not only can you do it with oil right out of the bottle, but if you have a roller bottle, and for example, you can rub that in the palm of your hands as well. I know there are several touch versions of oils that are offered, and if that's something that you received in your kit or that you've collected along the way, it's something you can roll right on the palm of your hands, cup your hands over your nose, and some nice deep inhale breaths. And what that does is it gives you the powerful aroma of that essential oil right away, right into your system. And also can act as a perfume. Oftentimes I will put it on just because I like to have the scent of it on me. I think it's there are so many pleasing smells that come from essential oils as well. And I often will use it aromatically in my office if I know that I'm going to have a very tense meeting. Or if, for example, if I have a group of people coming in to talk about a pretty intense topic, I will put something in my diffuser that will assist with balancing the mood of the room or have a calming effect. And we'll talk a little bit more about details of those oils in just a second, of some examples of how you can do that. Other ways that I've used it is to uplift mood. So for example, if we're having a tough day at the office or if here at the house, my kids are having they're a little down, a little cranky, I'll put things in the diffuser to help shift the mood of the house, to help uplift and to help, again, balance things out. Another really fantastic way that I love to use essential oils aromatically is the steam from your shower naturally can diffuse the essential oils. So if you take your oils of choice, for example, I love taking a shower at night and using lavender or serenity, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a second, and putting a couple of drops of that into your shower and allow the steam to just naturally diffuse that while you shower, and taking those low easy breaths, and with that moisture and with that the power of those oils really gaining the effects of that aromatically as well. Now, there's this little tiny picture that you see here is I've looked at this as a couple of different options. So first, you can use essential oils on your cloths when you wipe things off. You can there's all sorts of options there. But when I think about when I see this picture, what I think about is actually my bathroom. I think about the toilet paper roll and opening up the toilet paper that the cardboard tube inside and putting a couple of drops inside that cardboard tube. If you think about the smells that can come out of our bathroom, and I'll stay discreet with that, some of those can not be as pleasant. So, taking your essential oil of choice that you find pleasing and putting that inside that toilet paper roll, it will aromatically distribute that into the room. We do have a comment. I love eucalyptus for the shower. Yes, a fantastic example. I think that eucalyptus is a really great way of, because you have the warm heat and the moisture that opens up the airways, and then the eucalyptus in there just really enhances that effect really, really well. So that's a great one. Thank you, Sarah. So a question from Sandy is, are you placing drops of oil in the shower? Where are you placing them in the shower? So where I typically will place in the shower is, I've done it a couple different ways. I don't like to wash it down the drain. So I will typically place the drop just out of reach of the shower where it still can get hit with the steam and it can come up, but it won't wash down the drain immediately. That does mean that sometimes if I've done it frequently, I'll have to wipe that spot down, but it comes with that typical shower washing that we do on the regular. So, I put it right outside the spray of the water, so to speak. So then that way it doesn't wash away, but we can get the aromatic effects. So the top four oils I'm going to talk about when we're talking about diffusing. I'm going to start with Adaptive. Now, Adaptive is a newer blend that doTERRA has released, and this is one of my absolute favorites. As a social worker, I absolutely love using this with my patients. I love using this with my kids. Actually, I got a text just this morning from my mother-in-law commenting because she noticed that we got into a rush this morning and I didn't put the rollers on the kids' backs this morning. And Adaptive and an immunity blend is what I use on my kids every morning. And she said they are just really like cranky and not themselves today. I can really tell the difference between when you use the oils and when you don't. And so I recommended to her that she pop this into her diffuser, and she texted me a couple hours later and said it was a lot better. So they really responded to that. So adaptive is, so like when stress and tension seem really relentless, adaptive is a calming blend. It's a really precise solution. So you use adaptive to get comfortable with your surroundings or situations, to help boost your mood. It complements effective work and study. It actually really helps me focus at work, and increases your feelings of tranquility, peace, and calmness. It soothes and uplifts, and it's calming, and it has a really calming and relaxing aroma. So if you're feeling really stressed, it's a really great one to add to the diffuser to complement what your to your relaxation. Um, so the next on the list and the pictures that you see here is balance. Now, balance and serenity, that I'll talk about in a minute, were my gateway oils to doTERRA, because I was looking for things in my life to assist with balancing my mood. I was pregnant for my first child, and so mood regulation was really important, and sleep was important, so restful blend. So I'll talk about that in a second. But balance is a grounding blend, and it promotes tranquility and harmony in the mind and body. And so it brings your balance to your emotions in promoting kind of a whole body sense of relaxation. It's really for a grounding experience. For the grounding experience, it's really when you meditate, or when you're practicing yoga, or when you are doing anything that you're trying to bring yourself into a place of balance and calming. This is a really great option because it helps to kind of pull all of those miscellaneous emotions that may be all over the place into a centeredness, and it can be really powerful. So this also evokes feelings of tranquility and of balance. The next on this, the picture on the list here is Breathe. Breathe is doTERRA's respiratory blend. It's a really popular essential oil blend, and the respiratory blend, it has like a refreshing aroma. So it's got like the peppermint in it that we all really are familiar with, right? It gets that, opens up those airways, gives us that kind of awake, refreshed feeling. It maintains, feelings of clear airways and easy breathing. Katrina uses a great example of Breathe, and using Breathe in the morning to help to open up the airways and ease that kind of stress and tension that sometimes can come into our day when we think about first thing in the morning all of the things on our to-do list. So popping Breathe into the diffuser and using it aromatically can not only uplift your mood, but it can open up your airways. It can ease your stress and tension, and it also, it gives you that kind of easy breathing feeling. So it's really powerful. It also, you can also use it outdoors. And again, this topical application to your hands is a great opportunity. It minimizes the effects of seasonal threats, and you can rub it on your chest and feet. So I actually use Breathe products rather than some of the over-the-counter products that are out there that we're supposed to be using to increase our breathing, because it doesn't contain the fillers and the toxins that some of those things do, and it's much more effective and on a longer term basis. And when I have two toddlers, I want that to last all night long if they're not feeling well. The last on our list for aromatics, and then I'm going to hand it over, is Serenity. So Serenity is our restful blend. And so when we think Serenity, again, this is like my number one gateway oil. I was really struggling with sleep, and this blend of essential oils specifically is meant to target assisting you with having more restful sleep, more length to your sleep, and having overall feelings of relaxation. So again, I'll use Serenity in the shower. I also use Serenity in the diffuser at night if the kids are really amped up, or I've used it at work. The last facility I worked at, there was a large waiting room where people were coming in with a really high stress level. And so we would diffuse Serenity in the waiting room area to help to assist in easing. And there was a significant difference that our front desk staff noticed when it was diffused and when it wasn't diffused, and kind of easing that mood in and helping people feel calmer overall. So it's a restful blend to assist you in getting really good quality sleep sleep, and I can absolutely tell the difference when I do and don't use that at night. But also, it really does have a blend of essential oils that bring and invoke that sense of calming. And so I talked briefly about the why and the how and the use of this for aromatics. And now I'm going to hand it over to Brittany Pio, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about how to use oils topically.
Thanks, Sarah. That was great. I totally forgot about the toilet paper trick, so I'm going to be doing that again. And you're right. I love changing the mood of the room with aromatics. So I'm going to talk about topical application. And so if you do have a roller bottle nearby you and you want to apply that topically, I think now's a great time. And there's a lot of benefits and reasons why we would apply our oils topically. And I know for me, it is just a lot easier when I'm remembering to use my oils to apply them topically. Sometimes it can be a hassle to get the diffuser out or to get your veggie cap made. So I know for me, my easiest go-to when I'm in a rush too is to apply them topically. So let's talk a little bit about places where you can apply them on your body and the safety around it, and just some other tips and tricks for when we are going to use our oils topically. So you can pretty much apply them anywhere on the surface of your body, being mindful that, you know, if you get them too close to your eyes, you don't want to get them inside of your ears, things like that. But overall, it is really safe to apply them topically, especially when you are using a roller bottle. So you can apply on your face. You can think of maybe things like acne or scarring. Your forehead is a great place, especially if you want some clarity throughout the day. That's where we have that third eye point. I know for me, a favorite place to apply them is behind my ears, and even like on the back of my earlobe. And if we think of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, there's actually a whole map on our ears of places throughout the body that affects. So it's kind of neat when we start to think of it in that sense too. A lot of people carry tension in their shoulders and in their neck. Women in particular were just more likely to hold that tension in our neck and shoulders. And now we're spending more time than ever on these Zoom calls and on our computers, and we're just have that tendency to hunch over. So not only does it help with the pain relief, but I know for me, as I apply them, it's also this reminder of like, check my posture. And it's a good moment to just check in with your body as you're applying them. You can also apply to areas like your back and your chest. I love to apply over my belly. If it's that time of the month and you have cramps, you can apply oils like Clary-Calm and different blends that work for you. You can directly apply lemon over your liver. That's cleansing and detoxing for the liver. And if you're ever, you know, really wanting to get specific, you can pull up a diagram of your body, of the organs, and see exactly whereabouts you should place that oil on your abdomen. I also like to, if I'm going to apply my oils neat, so no roller bottle, I'm just going to go right out of the bottle. I'm going to more than likely apply those oils to the bottom of my feet. The bottom of our feet have the largest pores on our body, so they absorb really well. And then also the bottom of our feet are rough, you know, they could take a beating in that sense. So you can just apply your oils neat without the carrier oil that's in the roller bottle to the bottom of your feet. Now, keep in mind that if you're applying your oils to kids, I always think you should use your roller bottle, use the carrier oil. If you're not using the roller bottle, you can just apply like a teaspoon, tablespoon amount of coconut oil in your hand with a drop or two of essential oil and apply it to kids or sensitive skin that way if you don't have a roller bottle. But you always just want to make sure you're diluting when you're applying to kids. But the bottom of the feet are a great area for adults to apply essential oils neat or straight up. And I pulled out this reflexology map that I have. And so if you haven't seen one of these, you can just easily Google one or have your wellness advocate send one over to you. And what's neat about the reflexology map is you can be really intentional when applying your oils to the bottom of your feet. So just like if we're thinking of the body, like the bottom of our foot, and this actually applies for the hand too, but let's think of the bottom of the foot. So we have the top of our foot, which would be like our head and our sinuses, and then the middle of your foot's going to be like where the toes hit the actual foot. That's going to be like your neck and shoulders. The mid section of your foot's going to be like your organs, where the heel of the foot will be the lower body. So you can pull up a reflexology map and get super intentional of where you place your oils on the bottom of your foot. And that way it not only still gets into your system because you're applying it topically, but you're also working with where the nerve endings are on the bottom of your feet and where those correlations are for the rest of your body. Plus, anytime we put our intention into something, it's going to be more effective. So that's just a great way if you just grab your bottle of oil and you want to apply topically. In what I found over the last few years is that if I make roller bottles, there's a couple of really cool benefits to doing that. So when you are applying your roller bottles topically to your body, you might think, well, is it going to be less effective because it's diluted? But really, because there's so much fat in the carrier oils, like coconut oil, you're actually going to absorb the essential oils themselves even better because that fat likes to just absorb into our skin really well. And you might even see the effects of the oils lasting longer. And just, keep in mind that the more high quality carrier oil you have, the better too. So I know just from experience in the massage world, that fractionated coconut oil is a really light oil. It's not greasy like some other oils can be. You can still use like avocado oil, olive oil, that you cook with. You might just have laying around the house in the kitchen. But I do find the fractionated coconut oil that doTERRA sells is a lot nicer than most that are out there. So it's not greasy, it absorbs really well. You get longevity with your oils too. I know when I first started using them, like I was going through them like crazy, and then I started making my roller bottles, and then all of a sudden my oils are lasting longer and longer because it's going to take you a while to go through a roller bottle, and it's still going to be just as potent and effective than if you're just, one drop, grabbing that. So I really do like to do it because of that. They make nice gifts if you want to give a friend or family or somebody you have in mind something that's going to help them out. You can make really nice gifts out of them. I always would make them for my clients with their specific ailments in mind. And that's really how I got into doTERRA as a business, because I was making so many people roller bottles. They're really fun to make. You can make them with your kids. You can have them in all different areas of your house too. So I know for me, like I keep one near my desk. I keep literally at least 1 to 2 in just about every room of my house. And that just makes it easier. I know that's how I am. If things are in front of me, it's grab and go. I'm more likely to use them. So yeah, there's just a lot of benefits to stretching your dollar, to actually using your oils more. You can get really specific with how you make them. Pinterest is a great resource, but so is your wellness advocate to give you ideas and recipes when it comes to making roller bottles. If you can't get together with them, you can still hop on Zoom and learn how to make different roller bottles. And I also always recommend that adding frankincense into all the roller bottles you make, because that's going to really just be an amplifier to whatever oils you put in there. Rule of thumb, I'm usually going to put about 25 to 30 drops of essential oil in the roller bottle, but it really depends on like who you're making it for, what you're making it for. So the options and the combinations are really endless too, and super customizable. And that is just my go-to gift for everybody nowadays too. So, and you can really make them fun. You can add different things, like this one has some lavender, like dried lavender floating around in it. You can get little crystals to put in there. You can get super cute labels. And I have made the mistake in the past too of making roller bottles and not labeling them, and then having to kind of guess what they are. So you can also get like the mailing labels, like maybe don't print them out just that one sheet, and that's your sheet, you can make them, but they also sell really cute labels, and you can get your creative juices really flowing when it comes to making roller bottles. Another thing that I didn't talk about that I want to is the aroma touch technique. So maybe you can hook up with your wellness advocate and they can teach you how to do that. I can teach you if they don't know how. So the aroma touch technique is super cool. You basically layer 8 oils on your person, whether it's family member, friend, and there's specific little light massage techniques that you use that encourage lymphatic drainage and blood flow. And I can tell you from experience receiving and giving that it is so relaxing. Like, people leave my office on cloud 9. I'm kind of afraid to send them out the door to drive. Like, I feel like that's an activity you should do at home because you get so zenned out, and it's just like a nice treat that you can do. Maybe you teach your spouse how to do it, or your kids or whatever, because that's just a really cool thing to be able to give to each other. It's easy to do. It's not like you're not going to be tired after doing it. It's really fun to do. And it's just a great way to help somebody relax. It's also just a great way to share your oils with your family members. So I think that's what I wanted to just say on the topical aspect. And then I want to go into the oils that are mentioned on the sheet, because they really do deserve to be highlighted. They're ones I use all the time. So copaiba is a great oil for anti-inflammation, pain relief. It's like CBD's nicer sister. And the reason I love to use copaiba is I know that it is going to just take me to the next level when it comes to sleep and pain relief. It just really has a calming scent to it, as well as the way it makes me feel. So when I first started using copaiba, I didn't love the smell of it. And it's funny how like you adapt and change as you go on. And now I'm like, oh, that smell to me just is cozy. And I love applying copaiba on the bottom of my feet before I go to bed. I'll mix it with a little lavender too. Copaiba is just a really great oil when it comes to pain and inflammation. It has a lot of similar benefits to frankincense as well, and it's a lot cheaper, so that's nice. And I just find it works for me. Like, I don't know, it's right up there with my top oils that I have on my nightstand. I also apply it topically to my dog. He's older, he has some issues going on, and I mix it with coconut oil and apply it on his knees, and he really seems to like it. I know like certain ones bother him, and that one does not. Deep Blue is awesome. Deep Blue, we all know, is the gateway oil for our guys who join us in the essential oil world. So you can apply Deep Blue oil topically to your body, 1 drop. If you do have more sensitive skin, you might want to mix it with some coconut oil. I find that I can just apply it straight up to wherever I need it on my body, and it doesn't need to carrier oil for me, but we're all different, and it's totally okay if you need to use a carrier oil. I like the Deep Blue rub too. It's convenient. You only need to use a little bit. It's like those over-the-counter muscle pain relief creams, except it actually really does work. It doesn't stink. It doesn't leave you greasy. You only need like a pea-size amount. And word to the wise, Don't put this on right before you get into a shower. I don't know why you would, because you don't want to like rinse it off, but I've had people who will like put it on after they work out and then like maybe, you know, take the shower after. So just wait until after you get out of the shower, because the wintergreen in the shower on your skin is very tingly, and you don't want to experience that. But other than that, it is a great oil or the cream to apply. Again, I just like the cream for convenience. The oil is great when I have something that's really going on. Like the other morning, I woke up with a stiff neck. It was just like I slept wrong. And I actually took a little pea-sized amount of the Deep Blue rub and 1 drop of Deep Blue oil, and I rubbed it in on my neck. And by the middle of the day, the only reason I remembered that I had a sore neck was because I watched it on my Instagram story that I had posted. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I even had a sore neck. So it's really effective. Lavender is a wonderful oil to apply topically. It's a really gentle oil. I mean, everybody's different, but that is typically one that you can even apply to kids straight up because it is so gentle. Bug bites, rashes, pimples, red marks, you know, I mean, if you just want to be calm and relax, you can apply it too. But it is really nice if you have any sort of skin abrasion going on to apply topically too as well. And then last but not least that I'm going to talk about is peppermint. So peppermint has so many uses. I love to apply it topically to my belly and do some clockwise circles. And you always want to rub clockwise when you're rubbing your stomach. That's the directional flow for your digestion. So if you have a stomach ache, you can give yourself a nice little belly rub massage, or your kids or your partner or whoever, if they have a stomach ache. Peppermint is gentle too, so I don't find that I need to mix it with a carrier oil, but again, it's totally your preference, especially if you do want to give a nice little massage with it. It does make sense to use a carrier oil. I like it for headaches. Anytime I have any tension right in the back of my neck, if I am feeling like a little too warm, peppermint's gonna just cool you right down when you apply it topically. It's really nice for tension headaches near your temples as well. If you do give yourself too close of a temple massage to your eyes and your eyes start burning, you can actually just apply a little bit of coconut oil right to the temples, and it will somehow stop your eyes from watering, because I have gotten peppermint too close to my eyes before they started watering. I applied some coconut oil and sure enough, that stopped. So it's super safe. I think a lot of times people are scared to apply topically. So go with the roller bottle method. You know, if you are scared initially, then see, you know, if you want to apply straight up to your feet, get out one of those reflexology mats and get super intentional with how you apply them. But overall, as long as they're not a hot oil, you know, anything like cinnamon, oregano, cassia, those ones you want to avoid applying neat to your body. But just see how you go, and you can always add coconut oil to dilute. So yeah, I hope that was helpful, and I will hand it over to Liz to talk about internal.
Hey guys, thank you everybody. That was awesome reminders on how to use oils around you and on you. I think there were some great takeaways there. Thank you for all of that. So I'm going to talk about internal use of oils. And as an integrative nutrition health coach, I'm often asking and answering the question of, can I eat it? So the answer is, you have to look at your bottle. So some oils are safe for consumption and others are not. And that doesn't mean that they're unnatural or there's any sort of adulteration or additives in them. It only means that they're just not right for human consumption. Kind of like some mushrooms, like you can cook with mushrooms at home, but if you go foraging through the forest, you better know if you can eat that or not. So one way you can know if you can consume your essential oils is they will have supplement facts on them. I don't know how clearly you can see that, but supplement facts you're familiar with because you'll see it on packaged foods. That means it's been vetted by the FDA and it's safe for consumption. And it'll even say right on the bottle how you can consume it in water usually. It usually says 1 drop in 4 ounces of water. That's a guideline. I think guidelines are fuzzy, so I usually do a lot more than that. But so the reason you want to use essential oils, so let's address the question of why. So one of the big reasons for me is because your digestive system is really where the outside world meets the inside world. Now, we don't always think of it that way because we can't see it, but when you're consuming foods, you're taking items from the outside world and bringing them inside your body. And you often hear that your digestive system is the first line of defense, and that's because that's exactly where we need it. That's where we're going to be introduced to pathogens, viruses, bacteria, chemicals, all that stuff. So we really need to be prepared in that area. That's why 80 to 90% of your immune system is in your gut. So we hear that a lot too. Using oils internally is helpful for gut health, for mucous membrane health, your immune system, and of course for detoxing, which is something that I talk about quite often. So I'm going to do the how you use oils, and in doing that, I'm going to mention some of these oils that are listed below and share some recipe ideas. Nothing crazy, but be ready to jot some stuff down. So veggie caps is one way you can use them. Veggie caps, and I apologize I didn't bring any in here with me before the presentation, but you can see the picture of the bottle there. They're vegetable celluloid capsules. And basically what they are is they're an empty clear capsule that you can open up and put your own essential oils in it. One of the benefits of this is you are getting the use of essential oils internally, but you're not tasting it. So sometimes there are benefits to using essential oils internally, but maybe that oil doesn't taste super great, or maybe it's just like crazy spicy, like oregano, for example. Oregano, awesome antibacterial properties. That oil will kill anything, but you do not want to just drop that in your mouth because you will be running around like a crazy person trying to figure out how to pull your tongue out. It is a hot, hot, hot oil. So that's where veggie caps really come into play. So here's a little recipe for you. Maybe you've heard of this before. Flume, a flume bomb, F-L-O-O-M. This is something that you will use in a veggie cap so that you can take internally when you need an immune system boost. So I will take this internally. I'll give you the recipe in a second. When I'm feeling a little bit run down and like I might have caught something. So I will start using it immediately. And here's the recipe. So Flume is an acronym for the essential oils that'll go in the veggie cap. So the M is actually a T now, so it's kind of a flute, but for the purposes of this conversation, Flume sounds better. So F is for frankincense. So you're gonna do 4 drops of frankincense. I'm sorry, 2 drops of frankincense, 4 drops of lemon. O is for oregano, so 2 drops of oregano. The second O is for On Guard, 2 drops of On Guard. And M is for Melaleuca, which we now refer to as tea tree oil. So if you have an older bottle, it might say Melaleuca on it. If you have a newer bottle, it'll say tea tree on it. So this Flume Bomb really dots all the I's and crosses all the T's of immune support. It's antibacterial, antiviral oils. It also has lemon in it, so it's gonna help flush and detox. And it's just something that you wanna do if you feel like a cold or flu coming on. You wanna take it. I do about 3 times a day. So 1 with my morning meal, 1 with my afternoon meal, and 1 with my evening meal. And the great thing about essential oils is you flush them through your body relatively quickly. So they're not gonna build up. You're not gonna get a resistance to them or damage anything. You can't overdose. So you can bump that up a little bit if you wanna take a Flume every 3 hours or so. That's been really supportive for me in flushing whatever kind of ick out of my system. And those are the same oils that you can use in a roller bottle for immune support. You would just do 5 to 10 of each one of those oils and top it off with fractionated coconut oil and apply that to the balls of your feet. Another great oil for internal use is Digest Zen. This is something that I don't necessarily have to put in a veggie cap. I don't mind the flavor of it, and we've actually just reformulated it so it has less of that black licorice taste to it. So for anybody who's been a little squeamish about Digest Zen, you might want to give it another try because we've reformulated it to be a little bit more palatable. Digest Zen supports all types of digestive health. So gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation. My favorite thing about it is I'll take it after I've had a huge meal and I've overstuffed myself. It's like the Thanksgiving dinner oil. I often will use it topically, but just smelling it, using it topically, or if you have to, using it internally will really just help to speed up the process of digestion, and the bloat will go away. And I'm not kidding, like 10 minutes. You'll be like, you'll forget you even felt stuffed. So that's a really, really powerful oil. You can use it in a veggie cap. If you really don't like the taste of it, then I would highly recommend getting it in soft gel format. So many of our blends are also sold as soft gels for just ease of use, so that you don't have to mess around with making your own essential oil concoctions in a little veggie cap, which I kind of think is fun. But if you know you're going to be taking a lot of Digest Zen, then go for the soft gels, and then you'll make your life a little bit easier. Just a word of caution, you really can't make your veggie caps in advance and then go about your day and expect them to be intact later on. I've had many customers put together their veggie caps for the day, and come lunchtime, they're very disappointed to see that they've completely melted into just little puddles, and it's a total bummer. So you've been warned. All right, so that's soft gels and veggie caps. You can also use oils under your tongue. A really cool thing about using them either under your tongue or pressed to the roof of your mouth is when you allow the oil to absorb sublingually, so under your tongue, it's passing directly into your bloodstream. So you're getting a quick, fast shot of that essential oil systemically, versus when you swallow it, you're also getting it internally, yes, but it's hitting your gastric juices first, and it's changing into a different substance. Also still great, but it's just a lot faster and a lot more potent if you do use your oils under your tongue or press to the roof of your mouth. Frankincense is one that I like to use in this way, as well as copaiba. And I love that Brittany spoke about copaiba. I also kind of refer to it as like a poor man's frankincense, because it has incredible health benefits. It wears so many hats. It's an amplifier. It stays in your system for a long time too. So it's really, really powerful. And yeah, just awesome oil to use under your tongue or pressed to the roof of your mouth. So I do that for systemic benefits on a cellular level. So frankincense flushes out cells that are producing rapidly, and it allows new healthy cell growth. So that's what I like to use it for. But you can also use either one of those oils pressed to the roof of your mouth. Same benefits, but also you're releasing pressure in your sinus cavity. For anybody who is a migraine or headache sufferer, it's a really great way to release the pressure there. All right, so cellular neurological health, awesome use with frankincense. Another way you can use oils internally is just by adding a couple drops to your water or tea. I like to put On Guard in my tea sometimes, sometimes just straight up cinnamon. This is a great way to flavor your tea in a natural way. But also, if you're not feeling super well, drinking essential oils that are warmed up in that water will just help to really soothe your throat. And it's very, very comforting. In your water too, I personally am always drinking citrus oils in my water. I like to get a stainless steel straw for that because I don't really love getting the oil on my lips because it can be a little bit tingly. Citrus oils come from the rind. And if you remember as a kid stuffing oranges in your face, like sometimes that rind would get on your lips and it's tingly. So I still experience that with oil. So I do a straw, and you want to make sure anything that you're using with oils for consumption is stainless steel, glass, ceramic. Silicone is safe as well. Essential oils, specifically citruses, will eat up plastic. What they're doing is pulling toxins out of the plastic, which is great if we're pulling toxins out of our kidneys and our liver, but not if you're pulling it out of a plastic cup and then drinking it and putting more in our kidneys and liver. So you just want to completely avoid and put a drop of citrus oil on the bottom of it and watch and see what happens. It will literally, it will burrow through the plastic or ceramic, or what, not ceramic, sorry, styrofoam. It's a fun experiment if you're a total nerd like I am. If not, don't do it, it's fine. Reasons you wanna drink citrus oils internally. Our body creates something incredible called glutathione. It is an incredibly strong antioxidant. It helps support immune function. It's an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory. This is great for a lot of reasons, and I have to be compliant, so I'm not going to get into all of them, but you want to be producing more glutathione, and citrus oils allow your body to do that. So I always put a couple drops, maybe 3 to 5 drops of citrus oil in my 16-ounce glass every time I fill it up. And you want to do, this is the health coach in me, half your body weight in ounces of water every day. So figure out how many bottles or glasses you need to fill up and just use some citrus oil every single time you fill up. So I also am a huge advocate for using oils in my cooking. Really simple. I always have lemon in the kitchen. My favorite easy recipe is just chicken breasts in like a Pyrex baking sheet, olive oil, salt, pepper, 1 drop of lemon on each chicken breast, and put it in the oven, 400 degrees till it is the right temperature. And you have the juiciest, most delicious chicken you've ever had. It doesn't dry out. It's fabulous. Other kitchen oils, oregano. I love like pad thai flavors. So I use ginger, lime, cilantro all the time in the kitchen. My oil bottles are perfectly at home, right in my spice cabinet. And everything comes out so delicious. You're gonna have a lot of fun with that. I spoke about supplement facts. So if you're wondering whether or not you can use your oils, just check for supplement facts. The other thing is, and I think we'll mention it in a bit, but make sure you get a good reference tool too. I love the Essential Life book, but there's also Modern Essentials, and basically it's the most important tool in your toolkit, so that you are using your oils in a way that's going to serve your body the best. So just make sure you have a really great reference tool like that. And that's about it, you guys. I think that covers it, unless anybody has any questions. I hope that was helpful, not too much information. Who's next? I don't know who I'm handing the mic to.
That was wonderful. Thank you to Sarah, Britt, and Liz. I can pass the mic for you if you want, but the next mic is Carrie. Thank you, ladies.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So, Katrina, you're sharing the screen, right? Are we scrolling down? Okay, and we talked about the safety thing. I think that kind of all went together with what the ladies just did. So getting connected, all of you at this point are probably very much aware of the Life Fuel Community Education Group. For those who invited you here, many of us have our own separate education groups as well. And so make sure if you aren't aware of any of that, make sure that you get with the person who invited you here. We do a lot of stuff, promos, raffles, giveaways, obviously this type of education stuff. There's a lot to offer there. There's a lot to this journey. It can feel very, very overwhelming. So having that support and that guidance and joining the community is going to make your journey much, much more satisfying. I mean, it's healthcare, it's holistic healthcare, and you can go to your doctor for anything, and that's exactly what we're doing here. There's a lot of oils, there's a lot of ailments that can be covered, so having that connection is important. So getting organized, that's a very huge role in this journey as well. Starting out, you're probably just going to have a little location, and that's fine, that's traditional. As your stash grows, it can again get a little overwhelming because you start maybe using some lemon in the bathroom with your toothpaste, or you're using oils topically, you're using them in the kitchen for cooking, they're in the kids' room, the rollers, et cetera, et cetera. Before you know it, they're going to disperse throughout the house. I've been in several years of a battle with my husband and him getting irritated. He's in control of the diffusers. That's just a role he took on himself. And he's always looking for the oils for the longest time. So I knew I had to get a grip and get organized, right? Because I was taking them to classes. They're just all around the house. Even when you try to have 3 of each bottle, eventually they still get lost, right? So I actually love the system that we've come up with, even more so recently in our home. What I personally have done is I love our central location. Everyone's home is set up different, but we focused on the living room because in our living room, we've got the kitchen, the dining room, and living room all open together. Now we have a shelf in there, and I organized them out. I started alphabetically, and I discovered that I like per color because I know which of the oils are which color. And for me, it's quicker for me to find them when they're color organized versus alphabetically, because I have to sing the alphabet song in my head to make sure, if I have to skip a few letters. That's just me. Getting stickers too for your essential oils, that's key. They do have them on the site, and there's some other site, the doTERRA site, and there's some other sites that are available to be able to get stickers for the top tier bottles. It just makes a world of difference. Wherever your oil bottles are, it's much simpler to have them right on the top, versus not, because typically where they're sitting, you might not fully read the label, and then you got to pick it up and see what's going on there. Getting stickers, that's a important factor. So adding that to your wish list is a definite must. We have them in our kitchen. Those are the ones that we take internally or topically every single day, because I sit them next to our Lifelong Vitality. So our supplements, anything that we're taking on a daily regimen every single day, are non-negotiables. That's where I have my non-negotiable oils next to my non-negotiable supplements. And then, throughout the house, I don't have anything here, but they make little holders that maybe hold like 5 essential oils or 10 essential oils. And we have little holders throughout our house too, placing them accordingly, just depending on where diffusers are or where our routines are. We have them in our medicine cabinet. So to sum that up, to simplify it, is create a routine for yourself and your family, and then place essential oils around your home accordingly. Definitely make sure that they are up out of the reach of children. They're not going to hurt them or poison them, but if they do get them in their eye or a part of their body that's maybe cooling or warming, they just might not like that. Now, we've discussed fractionated coconut oil. Having fractionated coconut oil is really, really key to this lifestyle. As it's been mentioned, it helps dilute and helps weigh that down to seep into the pores. Getting a pump for your fractionated coconut oil is a huge help, instead of screwing off the top every time. And then if you already have oils in your hand and you're trying to get the coconut oil out, it just makes a mess when you can just simply pump that. So making sure you have a pump with your fractionated coconut oil. Swapping out toxic products, candles, air fresheners. So I guess that really goes along the line of where I had already mentioned where we place them. Of course, if you have like the doTERRA, we have a whole line of doTERRA cleaner, detergent, hand washes. Obviously hand washes would go next to the sink. The cleaner concentrate goes under our sink, under our kitchen cabinet. We don't have to worry about our kids with that, because if it's, you know, God forbid it is drinking, you just need to drink water to dilute that. So that's not an issue with the babies, or even pets. Air fresheners, of course, keeping oils next to your diffusers if that's what you wish. And a keychain. Look at this. Okay, so they do have keychains on the doTERRA website as well. And there are other websites out there, Aroma Tools, Share Oils. There's many different resources out there as well. They have a wide array of roller bottles and dropper bottles, a bunch of really fun stuff. So this is a keychain. I love this. This is what we put in our diaper bag for our 2-year-old. Oh my gosh, she's almost 3. We're not even going to need a diaper bag soon. But you can put this on your purse too. I used to have it on my purse, but then we had a diaper bag, so I left it in the diaper bag. You can put your favorite oils that you want, and they come with these little vials, so you fill them up. Obviously, that one's empty, but you fill them up. They will, if you don't use them, they will evaporate over time. So I would just put a little bit in if it's not an oil that maybe you use all the time, but you want to keep it on hand in case you need it. I just love this because you don't have to bring big bottles wherever you're going, and you'd be very surprised the things that you need when you're out and about shopping or on the go at work, so on and so forth. So these are really convenient, super nice. They fit 8, so you can choose from 8 of those. I usually fill up one of them with a little fractionated coconut oil myself. Just making sure there's no questions. All right. Now, getting equipped, this is the next important piece. A part of this lifestyle is, you guys can probably know at this point, you've probably attended a 101 class. This is continuing education. Having resources on your hands is really important. Whether that's something you invest in right at the moment, or you're putting that on your wish list. Our groups on social media are phenomenal, our email campaigns, so on and so forth. But having something at home for an easy, quick reference, that's like, it can't be touched. This education is great, but I refer to this book still after 4 years every single day, hands down. This is the Modern Essentials book. This is my Bible. We do, I can't say there are other resources out there. This is the Essential Life. I do really like this one. I typically refer to Modern Essentials more than this. It's not really a reason. I just gravitate towards Modern Essentials more, but I love having them both because they both have just a different design and not really necessarily different information. It's just kind of summed up a little differently. And I love I know my light's kind of super bright here, but the Essential Emotions book as well. So the 2 that I just mentioned, those are going to be typically more from a physical aspect. Of course, there is mental health stuff in there, ADHD, anxiety, stuff like this. This is more on a vibrational standpoint with the essential oils. I'm not even going to tap into this because my heart and soul is into this book and I could go on forever. But for each individual oil, there's 1 to 2 pages of it, how it connects with our emotions and how deep rooted that it can go. And I love this book. This is my baby. And next, if you guys don't, oh wait, I think that's Katrina. I think I'm stepping ahead. Really, really last, to sum everything up from my standpoint, the doTERRA website also, guys, if you're not looking into invest in the reference books yet, or maybe you want to pair that with that, the doTERRA website itself has so much. We have a blog category that's going to have a ton of stuff from clinical research, chemists, science, a bunch of stuff there. And we also have ebooks that you can print out or keep on your laptop or phone, and you can reference from there. A ton of information that it's not limited at all between us and all the resources out there. So if there are no questions, I'm going to pass it on to Katrina.
This has been wonderful. I've been writing my own notes here too. This is great to hear everyone's different ideas. We are aware that we are going over our time. We just have a few more talking points, and we also have the panel. So it is worth your time to stay. And also our intention is to stay for an hour. So we're going a little bit over this week, but we'll definitely stay in the hour frame for next week. So just to do a recap, so give yourself a little high five, you're sticking with us through this. There's so much value to hearing from everyone, and everyone is pouring their heart and soul into this. So I'm extremely grateful to be in this community with everyone and be able to learn from each other. It's so wonderful. So just to kind of, as we're all getting these takeaways from this, what we would encourage you to do from here is set up a wellness consult. Even if you've already done one, do another one. We love this. This is for many of us full-time and or something that we do part-time, but it's our heart and soul. We love this. So reach out to the person that got you started and set up a wellness consult. Take your wellness routine to the next level. Add in some new routines, pick their brain. Everyone is brilliant. So you have a lot of really great support tools, both references and also people. And then the last thing that we want to talk about just real quick before we jump into the panel is how you can use your account. So you've written a wish list. There's different ways that you can use your account to maximize your savings and just basically get paid to be a part of this lifestyle, which is one of my favorite things. So when you have your own wholesale account, you have two different ways that you can order. You can order by going in and doing a standard order, just as you would ordering online anywhere, and you'll get your 25% off pricing or your wholesale prices. So that's great. You're already saving that way. What most people do, and what I would say is the most intelligent way to use your account, is using what we refer to as the monthly wellness box. And the reason for that is doTERRA pays you to be a loyal customer, essentially. So when you choose the date that you want your order to come to you, let's say you choose the 10th of each month, you'll go in before the 10th of the month and you'll customize your wellness box to what you want for that month. So if you're wanting to try the adaptive line, add that in there. Maybe you're wanting to try the lifelong vitality because you've heard us talk about those supplements, or you're wanting to add in your fractionated coconut oil. Do it that way. So then what happens is you get a percentage back. So let's say your first 3 months, you'll get 10% back. Then it bumps up to 15%, and then you get 20%. And then after a year, you get 30% back, plus you're getting 25% off of retail prices. So you're essentially saving 55% after being a part of doTERRA for a year. It's amazing. I love it. We get our shampoo, our vitamins, all of the things that I used to get from the grocery store, I've swapped over. Know that I can trust them, which is awesome. But then they give these points back that I cash in. Some of you might have seen the other day, cashing in $400 worth of free stuff. It's just an awesome way to use, take advantage of what doTERRA is offering, get into the healthy lifestyle and save money. So it's an awesome system. The way that it works, you just have to order something each month. What I would suggest is order 50 PV. So you'll see the dollar amount, and you'll also see the PV amount. It's very easy to get to 50 PV. The supplements are phenomenal. You'll hear us talking in depth more so about those in upcoming weeks, but adding something in, get your account to 50 PV, because at 50 PV is when you really get to take advantage of the savings. And then if you're at, so you 1 PV or point value, you get to be a part of the program. 50 PV, you get to move up in the percentage and you get to get the percentage back. 100 PV, you get to earn commission. So if you're interested in sharing this with your friends and family or doing this as a business, at 100 PV, you're eligible for commission, a paycheck, literal actual paycheck. And then at 125 PV, you get the free product of the month. So what I would encourage you to do as you're choosing your date is order somewhere between the 1st and the 15th, because that's the eligibility period in order for you to get the free product. This month, any order that is placed by the 15th, that's 125 PV, gets a free Melaleuca or the tea tree touch. So that's it, just means it's a roller bottle. You get a free roller bottle of tea tree. And they do that every month. So you get to decide, okay, this month I want that freebie. I'm going to make my order 125 and you can customize it. So it's just a great way. We'll be going more in depth into the wellness box as the weeks progress so that you feel comfortable with it, but it's definitely a great way to maximize your savings and really stay in the cost-effective lane for sure. You can also get the Lifelong Vitality on your monthly wellness box, and then you get 3 customizables that you can get at a huge discount. So if you take a probiotic, make sure you're doing it through that monthly wellness box and customizing your kit so that you can get the PB Assist and Terrazyme at a huge discount. That's in the comments, and a great point to add. So there's a lot of ins and outs, and we'll be sharing more about it because we want to make sure that you feel comfortable in how to use your account to save the most money, as we all do, right? It's a great way to make this lifestyle affordable. So if you have questions for us, I know we're just wrapping up now, we'll do the panel. If you have things that are on your mind, put them in the chats, and we're going to go through, because we have other wellness educators on here that have some other phenomenal testimonies for you. So who on here has something that you would like to share? Or I know a few of you, if you're still on. Connie, we'll do Connie first, and then I think Kira has something to share, so we'll have Kira go next. So Connie, go ahead.
You all did just a really great night with everything that you've done, but I wanted to add in some oils that we don't always think about. I know Liz touched on oregano. It's one I use every night, actually, in the roller bottle on the bottom of my feet. Healthy for immune support, and actually nature's natural antibiotic. And right now we all can use a little bit of that. Again, she said it was a hot oil, so make sure it's diluted on the bottom of your feet. It doesn't really matter, but still be safe. One of the other oils I use is rosemary. I do have a sciatica, and I use it neat. I just take a couple drops when that flares up and I just apply it. It's almost instantaneously that the pain goes away. Past tense before bed. I love past tense. I put it on the back of my neck, and it just is such a great tension relief. Also really good for TMJ. And the last one, well, there's 2 more. Geranium is really super great support for liver, pancreas, gallbladder, and kidney. And I've had kidney stones, so I've used geranium on occasion. And I know you also touched on frankincense, but I use frankincense every single day, not only under my tongue, couple drops on my hand in the morning, rub it across my forehead for focus and clarity. I won't be without my frankincense.
Awesome. Thank you, Connie. And we'll jump to Kira, and then I think Sandy was planning to share as well. So we'll do Kira and then Sandy.
Good evening, everyone. So mid-40s hit, and who doesn't sleep at night? So that hit me, and I managed to eliminate any over-the-counter things that I was taking, and have switched to the Serenity gel caps at night. They are amazing. I actually slept through my husband's alarm the other morning, and I am such a light sleeper that I can hear my cat snoring 4 rooms away. So for me to be able to sleep through his alarm, which is the theme to Rocky, and it goes off every 5 minutes at 5 a.m. till 5:45, that's amazing. So I cannot, like, I always have an extra bottle of this on hand just in case. My other go-to is Deep Blue. I use Deep Blue. I no longer take anything for headaches. This is my go-to for a headache. If I have sinus issues going on, I'll put it here on the cheeks very lightly, but again, being cautious of my eyes because it will make your eyes water a bit. But back of my neck, tension headache, goes away instantaneously. So no more over-the-counter medicines in my cupboard for me. So just wanted to share a couple of those things for you.
Love it. Thank you. And we'll jump over to Sandy.
My testimony for tonight is Clary-Calm in a roller bottle, and I'm also adding phytoestrogen in. I think I'm starting to hit perimenopause, and it's helped me tremendously with hormonal headaches that I'm getting at certain times in the cycle. So I'm applying the Clary-Calm on my abdomen every morning and taking the phytoestrogen as well. And it's been tremendous difference for me. So a good recommendation.
I love that. Thank you, Sandy. And I believe, Ellie, are you able to share? I know you're juggling a few things. Are you able to share?
Oops. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I really love past tense on the back of my neck because I get really stressed out. And I was a funeral director, which I've parted with, but a lot of the movement and use of my body, like hunched over kind of, I store a lot of stress in the back of my neck. And so the past tense, I literally roll it from like probably like the middle of my head down my spine to like the top of my back. And it really like just melts it straight away. And then I had broken my ankle a couple years ago, and sometimes it gets like very sore, and I use like the lemongrass, birch oil, wintergreen, and it kind of just helps ease everything and make it less painful when like the rain or the cold weather is affecting it, because I have metal rods in there. So it helps a lot work my ankle out and make it feel that I can like move up and down or do a workout or whatever I need it to be. And another favorite of mine is Deep Blue oil for my muscles, previous workout and post-workout. I rub those all over my body. That way I get a better workout, and then I'm not so sore the next day. And I use the protein smoothies to go along with those workouts. And it really gives me like energy and focus post-workout to build my proteins back. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Ellie. And then Sarah Trumpio, did you want to share a testimony, and we'll wrap up after that?
Sure. So I have a few different things, but I'm just going to focus on two because of time. So one of them is, I call it my chill blend. But if I'm feeling stressed or anxious, or you know, if there's people around me that are stressed or anxious, I found it to be really helpful. So it's Vetiver, Serenity, and Balance. And I put it in a roller bottle, and talk about gateway oils. You know, I've had, you know, several people that I've shared that with, and they have, you know, and actually this was shared with me from someone that found it to be really beneficial. And so I tried it and loved it. And so I recommend trying that if you have not tried that. The other one is I have celiac, and so me and gluten are not friends. And so if I get exposed to gluten, I get very sick. And so some of my go-tos for that is Deep Blue. I tend to get inflamed in my system when that happens. So I rub the Deep Blue on my forehead. I'll put it, I always get tension in my jaw when that happens. So I'll put it on my jaw, a little bit behind my ear area, and my neck. I also will then do Copaiba. I do a couple drops of Copaiba underneath my tongue for pain, and it just kind of calms my nervous system. And then I typically will do a little bit of juniper berry behind my ears, and then Digestin for my belly, because it really upsets my belly, as well as Zendocrine and the Terrazyme. And then I flush with like a lot of water, and try to consume as much water as I can with lemon oil or some kind of citrus oil, but I usually go to lemon to push it out of my system. So yeah, it's essential oils have been amazing for me, because when I typically would have grabbed something over the counter, I have these natural solutions that I can pull from to heal my body naturally and feel better. So.
Love it. Thank you for sharing those tips, Sarah. Cynthia, let's wrap up with you. I don't want to skip over you. Go ahead, share your testimony, and then we'll wrap up for the evening. Whoops. There you are. No, you're muted. There we go.
Hi, everyone. Am I good?
Yes, you are. I'm just going to spotlight you and you're good. Go ahead.
So really quick, my kids, I need to share this. Every single time they have a bellyache, they ask for peppermint. So I put some on their bellies and some on the backs of their neck just to like cool them down. And also if I'm feeling like sleepy in the middle of the day, I'll either diffuse it if I'm at home, or I'll put some on the back of my neck and on my temples at work. So I would say peppermint is our go-to in the Judd house.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. It's so cool to see kids get involved with oils and learning right from a young age how to use something natural. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'll speak on behalf of everyone that shared tonight. We appreciate you being a part of this journey with us. We're so grateful that you trust in doTERRA and enjoy this lifestyle as much as we do. And it's an honor to be able to share resources with you, and would love to hear testimonies that you have. It's just as, we're sharing and learning from each other, we learn from all of you as well. So please, we invite you to keep your comments going in the Facebook group, share your testimonies, and we all just can keep growing and learning together. So just to recap, this is an 8-week series. We have reshuffled things around a little bit. So this was actually week 1. So we'll be continuing the 8 weeks, and it's every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So join us through Zoom if you want to be in this live, or you can join us live through Facebook. So we will see you back next week, and I don't have it in front of me, but I should. Does anybody have the topic of what next week is? I can grab it real quick if you don't. What do we have next week? Anybody? Anybody? No?
I think oils at every
Oils for every age is next week. Yep, I just pulled it up too. So next week we'll have oils for every age, and then the following week will be nutrition and supplements. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, I was just going to say oils for every age is like from newborn babies and pregnancy all the way up to the elderly. So it covers your whole family.
Yes. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. If you have specific questions and you want to stay on, we can stay on and answer any questions. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next week.